Howdy folks, I'm a solid sextant, strictly studying sharp shapes.
I'm Amber.
And here are more sharp shapes for us to study as if they were like a triangle to measure angles between things so that you can know where something is in the distance. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Burning My Girlfriend's Personal Diary? I am a 29-year-old male, and I have been dating my girlfriend, a 27-year-old female, for a year now. She has always had this big, fat personal diary. That thing was huge. That was gifted to her by her sister 6 years ago. She told me, when we moved in together a few months ago, that she used to write a lot of things every night in it, but she always locked it away in the cupboard and kept the keys with her. I was always curious about the things that she must write about me. Does she adore me, love me a lot, want to marry me or not someday? Things like that. Yesterday, she forgot her keys to the cupboard on our bed and went to work as usual. I took the day off from work and I immediately took the diary out and I started reading it. I couldn't control myself, I'm sorry. At first, it was kind of sweet. She had written a lot of things about her family and her memories with them and her friends. I skipped through many of the pages that had these entries, and I started reading the things that she wrote when she was around 23. She was in a relationship with a guy, she told me all of this, and was deeply in love with him, but they broke up, he cheated, just a year before we started dating. When I started to read the lovey-dovey things that she had written about him, my blood started to boil. This was the most jealous that I had ever been. She went on about how cute and hot he looks all the time, even when doing the most basic things. And I've always been insecure about my looks, and reading all of that made me feel even more insecure. She entered many personal, intimate details about the relationship in those pages. At one point, I just couldn't take it, and I ripped her diary apart page by page, and I burnt it in our backyard. She came home and found out about it. We fought a lot, and she ended up crying really badly. Took some of her stuff and went to her sister's house for the night. I haven't been able to sleep since then. One thing that she told me is that I should have at least read the things that she had written about me, and that they were far better than anything she had written about her ex, and that I had destroyed her memories with her family that she had written for some stupid reason. I was really angry when I did, and I regretted it later. She said that she might never come back. I'm scared. Am I the jerk? Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Yes, absolutely the jerk. OP, you should not be in a relationship. You should go to therapy and fix your jealousy issues. And until then, you cannot be trusted in a relationship with another person. You took something that was very precious and dear to her heart. It ruined it out of jealousy because she had a past. Newsflash, most people have passed before their current partners. And it's just such a horrible, horrible thing to do, to destroy all those precious memories.
Yeah.
Just because in some pages she wrote about her ex fondly.
Yeah, I think that OP is coming across as a very jealous individual, and it seems like they are really... I don't blame the girlfriend for not coming back here. I think that this is the right move on her part, right? I think that he violated her privacy, for one, right? And he read something that he knew he shouldn't have read. He even took time off from work to do this.
I know, it just shows an unhealthy attachment to this, to the point of I'm taking a day off from work just so I can read this diary.
Yeah. And you had no business reading her diary. And I think that she has every right to be upset, and I hope she doesn't come back. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Reverend Ross says, well, of course you're the jerk, as you should know. Assuming that this is real, giving you the benefit of the doubt here, you had exactly no business reading her diary in the first place, and still less stealing it from her and destroying it. Your own insecurity has probably wrecked your relationship. It's a good sign that you regret it, but that regret needed to kick in the very second you went looking for her diary. And Goth Penguin says, let me break it down bit by bit. You could have seen the keys and done the right thing, which would have been not to read it. You decided to do the wrong thing and are lying about the fact that you couldn't control yourself. Yes, you could, you just didn't want to control yourself. It was more important to you to find out what she wrote. You grossly violated her privacy and her trust in you. You didn't like what you read, and you reacted by throwing a temper tantrum and destroying something personal, private, and precious to her. You thought about it, and now you actually have to ask if you're the jerk? Survey says you're the jerk. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for not telling my wife that my homeless friend showers at our house? My wife works night shift, and I've been letting my homeless friend shower at her house when she's working. She came back early without telling me to find her in the bathroom nude. She's not a stranger, she knows her from high school. I didn't tell her that she was showering here because she's here at most 30 minutes and then leaves. I tried explaining to her, but she wouldn't have it. She also cursed my friend out. All right, folks, what do you think?
Yeah, you're the jerk. I mean, I understand that you want your friend to shower and that's fine, but your partner needs to be aware of who's, coming into the house. You have to understand that this situation is going to look really, really bad from your wife's perspective to come home finding another woman showering in her house.
Yeah, my curiosity is how long has this been going on? I'm not sure that OP's like it depends on OP's motivations here. If OP's actually cheating on his wife with this person and it's just using like the showering as like a cover-up story, then I think that they may have not told their wife because it may not have occurred to them, but maybe it should have occurred to them. And I don't know. I think that this is like maybe OP was trying to do a nice thing and trying to help a person who was in need, and it turns out this way. But I do agree the optics here aren't necessarily great.
No, they're pretty terrible. Unlike if I were your wife, I would be jumping to some conclusions there, rightly or wrongfully. And so, like, I can't fault the wife for being upset to come home and find a naked woman in her bathroom,
Hmm.
and her husband just be like, "Oh, no, no, don't worry, she's just showering. That's it." Like, that's not going to reassure anyone.
Yeah, well, I mean, another question is like, this never came up in like common conversation or something like that. Oh, I saw XYZ from high school. You remember her. I guess she's run into some hard times right now, and I loaned out our shower to her.
Right. Like, that's the kind of thing that I think that partners should communicate to each other. Like, if you're having people over and it's an unusual arrangement like that, like where they're going to be using the shower or something, then like it's a good idea to like communicate so there's not awkwardness for anyone. Like your wife won't come walking in and see a naked person, and the friend won't have to be walked in on.
Yeah. So I think that OP exercised poor judgment in this. I think that hopefully if we can give them the benefit of the doubt that this isn't anything untoward, but again, the optics here don't look great, especially since this is a friend that she knew from high school. So it seems like this would have been some kind of conversation that would have come up. Like, how did they come to the place where she was coming over to his house
Mm-hmm.
on a what sounds like a pretty regular basis to shower?
Right. Well, and how close is Opie to this friend where he's to the point of like inviting her in every day? Like it raises a bunch of questions for me.
Yeah.
Is the wife close to her too? Like, and there's just like so many questions in my head about this situation.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Separate Kick 3186 says, appears that you are setting a backstory for some adultery. And Fortune Telling Boob says, this was my thought. Of course I wasn't cheating with the nude lady, honey. Look, I even made an innocent Reddit post about her.
I mean, that thought had crossed my mind.
Yeah, that also crossed my mind as well, because it's like, oh, see, I'm just misunderstood type of thing. And Separate Kick 3186 says, that's nice to know. I have very little faith in people, and that's why I replied that. Good to know that my thinking is not tangential. And Ashley Empire says, you're the jerk. There was a naked woman in your house, and you didn't tell your partner about it. Either you wanted something to happen and kept it quiet, or you're an idiot. What would you think if you were in her shoes? Edit, many people are upset about the typo. I have edited it for you. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I the jerk for throwing my rings in the ocean after my husband told me that he had an affair, even though it was a prank? This is the dumbest thing that has ever happened to me in my entire life. This past Sunday, my husband and I, a 29-year-old male, and I, a 27-year-old female, were on a boat together. We were just relaxing and talking and having a good morning. All of a sudden, my husband gets really serious and tells me, baby, I'm so sorry, but I have to tell you something. I'm so sorry, please forgive me. I had an affair. For context, my husband thinks that he's a comedian. He says dumb stuff all the time, but he's never joked about our marriage or relationship or cheating ever. The way he said it, I fully believed him. I was blinded by rage and hurt and not a confrontational person at all. So what I did was stand up and I took my rings off and I threw them into the ocean. I don't even know why I did it. It was just the first thing that I thought of doing. My husband's jaw hit the floor. He immediately started to yell at me that it was a joke, a prank, and that he wasn't serious at all and that I was not smart. My jaw dropped too, and I yelled at him and I called him the same. I cried and I realized that I threw my lovely sentimental rings into the ocean. We've been arguing for days, and he says that I'm the jerk, and I say that he's the jerk, and I have no idea who's right. Yes, admittedly, I threw in about $10,000 worth of rings into the ocean, and we'll never find them again, but he looked at me in the eyes and told me that he had an affair. I am upset about my rings, and I've apologized for throwing them, but I don't feel like I'm the jerk. Alright, folks, what do you think?
I mean, I don't think I can call Opie a jerk here. I mean, definitely the husband's in the wrong for doing this supposed prank. I don't know if I can render a verdict on Opie because it just sounds like she was in a very emotional state and had been delivered what seemed like very bad news and wanted to get rid of that like memory and connection. I don't fault OP. It was definitely a rash decision, but like again, it was just sort of what do you do when you get news like that?
I mean, haven't we seen stuff like this in the movies where someone's like finds out that there's an affair and they're on a boat or something like that and they throw them into the rings into the ocean or something like that, or they're on a dock and the same thing. I don't know. I think I've seen like a scene like that out of a movie, and I mean, I think that that's enough of a trope that I don't know why he would think that this was a good idea to say this kind of thing.
Well, I don't know why he would think this was a good idea to say this kind of thing, period. Like, it sounds like they were having a nice, relaxing vacation, and he wanted to, like, take this sweet moment and just, like, ruin it for laughs. Like,
Yeah,
tell someone something absolutely devastating just so you can get a kick out of their reaction.
yeah.
Like, that doesn't sound like a healthy thing to be doing with a partner you love.
Mm-hmm. It was poor form on his part. It really was. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Bigelow Booty 75 says, not the jerk, and take your apology back too. You did nothing wrong. You simply reacted. Do you have insurance on the ring? And OP replies, yes, fortunately. And Refrigerator Hot 3859 says, oh, definitely not the jerk, and you are owed new jewelry. His joke is a great example of play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I feel bad that you lost your rings, but I only feel bad for you. As a side note, you're sure that he was just pranking you and then freaked out when you chucked the rings overboard? If so, why would he ever think that was funny? I'm just curious because most sane people don't joke about stuff like that. And OP replies, his jokes are ridiculous like that all the time, but never like that. Usually I can tell that he's trying to rile up a person. He also knows that I don't like his jokes, so he doesn't really do it to me. But I guess that he felt inclined that day, so I don't know. Well, I was kind of wondering if this was like a cover for like a actual affair or to like gauge how she would react if he was having an affair.
Yeah, I mean, it could very well be. And, like, it does not show compassion for her that he did this. Like, he knows she doesn't like his supposed pranks and decided to pull, like, this ultimately cruel one. I mean, I think he may very well, like, it's a definite possibility that he's either covering up or, like, gauging her reaction or something like that.
Yeah. Well, and then also, what was the prank out of this, right? Oh, I made my wife cry?
Right. The entire point is to get some kind of reaction out of her. And, like, so he could laugh. Oh, haha, it's so funny. My wife is upset and crying or whatever.
Yeah. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Why did the dentist examine his computer?
I mean, first it's the doctor because it had like a slip disc,
Mm-hmm.
and now we have the dentist, and I guess it's because it took too big of a bite.
He wanted to check its bite.
Oh, he wanted to check its bite? That makes sense. That makes sense. And I have Earl Grey. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Tuesday, spelled TWO. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please, have it in the form of a short poem.
Roses are red, violets are blue. It's not a prank if it's not funny for both me and you.
That works. That works. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Oh, bye.